Hey SEO friends, tonight's video is on the Elgato Stream Deck for SEO. Elgato Stream Deck is a device that comes in I think it comes in two different sizes, the 8x4 and the 5x3. This is the 8x4 that I have. Has 8 active matrix buttons on it, so they're like individual screens, and you press them and it automatically launches a macro or a pre-recorded program, and it can be very handy for SEO. I'll show you a couple of examples. So I have a little mock-up of my Stream Deck here. I have the 8x4, the XL version. The Mini is 5x3. Again, Mini 150, XL $250. The custom buttons are 96 by 96 pixels. It appears to take any image format. The first two buttons that I have on here to introduce you to are the speed test and the page button. The page button just goes to the next page of buttons, and you can customize that. I'm going to show you the benefits of that. The speed test doesn't interact with your screen, but when you press it, it does a speed test on your internet connection to see how well you're connected to the internet. Again, the Stream Deck has a million different uses. It can even be used, something that I didn't want to pass over, so I just threw it in here, is that you can even use it for complex passwords. So if you had a 25-letter password or with characters and symbols, as long as you can type it once into Stream Deck, you program it to a button, and unless people have that button, they're not going to be able to, rip it off from you unless they hack into your machine. So the next button is SEO news. So every morning I check the same news sites, sometimes regular news, sometimes trash like this. But I also check into a couple of news groups and websites and stuff like that to make sure that I'm not missing anything new. So I press the button once. All those sites come up in tabs. So right here you see CNN, Dig, Drudge Report, and TMZ. You press that button once, those come up, and very easy to program. You can have as many websites come up in one button press that you want. Now, the page button can be customized to a client logo, and this is something that I utilize on the Stream Deck extensively. I meet with all my clients in my office, so a client seeing their logo on my Stream Deck is important to them and to me. It shows them that they, rate in my book and that they have a place in my, workday. But it also makes it easier for me to bring up their reports or any information when I'm on the phone with them or face to face. So the page button here has been customized as a client logo, and it's pretty simple to make the logo. You just grab it off their website, shrink it down to 96 by 96, and you're good to go. And when you click it, you come up to a screen that's all of their logos and some extra buttons. And I'm going to populate this as we go on. I don't want to throw you off as far as having extra buttons. So the page button brings it is all the client buttons, client logos. Here we have the first two of the buttons, GA and GSC, obviously Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Those aren't the official logos. I actually just grabbed those off Google Images, and when you press Google Analytics, it brings up Google Analytics, and here you see it on the screen. When you press Google Search Console, it brings up Google Search Console. Now, it doesn't just log into my main account, it actually brings up the client's domain under my Google Search Console. Worthwhile. And that's basically the gist of the rest of this presentation is customized for the client. So when a client comes to me or contacts me, in 1 second I can bring up any information that I need for them. So the next thing is SERP Empire and CTRify. So I use SERP Empire and CTRify for most of my clients. Press the button, brings me to that client's account, their project or their campaign on SERP Empire. Press CTRify, brings them up on there. Next, so rank tracking. So I use SERP Robot for rank tracking. I do their organic and GMB. Their GMB does not do GeoGrids. I do GeoGrids with Local Falcon. So I have 4 buttons configured for this one client, and you can press them in succession, or you can label them, say this one's for a certain location, this for location 2, location 3, or a certain set of keywords. And when you press the buttons, up comes SERP Robot right straight to the client project. Okay? Next. So Local Falcon. So I use Local Falcon for my GeoGrids, and I press the button, automatically brings up their most recent GeoGrid, and then I have 3 other buttons that bring up competitor reports, share of local voice reports, and scan reports. Their previous scans, the competitor report, solve, showing their trending, etc. Worthwhile, real quick. And I usually have Local Falcon automatically running reports for clients every week. So when I press the first button, it brings up the first week, last week, the one that was done within the previous 7 days, to show me the most current GeoGrid for their #1 search term. Obviously, you can have more for individual keywords that you're tracking on GeoGrids, and I recommend that you collect your URLs with OpenList. OpenList is a browser extension for Chrome, and it allows you to grab up a whole bunch of different tabs and spin them right back into the configuration tool for Stream Deck. Okay, so as we said, SERP Robot, 1 button. Local Falcon, press a button, bring up your GeoGrids. Now, last thing in this presentation, by the way, I'm going to have 2 presentations on Stream Deck. This is just the first one. The second one's going to be more complex. Now, don't forget that anything that can output an EXE can be programmed to one of these keys. So, macros with Browser Automation Studio, paid version, exports EXE, iMacros, or Xenobox, which is Xenoposter, the runtime stuff for Xenoposter, which can be very complex and can do anything online with proxies, you name it, and you can program it to a key, and now you have a complex process that whenever you want to run it, press a key, you're good to go. The other thing is, for anything OBS, Open Broadcaster System related, for recording client audits or any sort of presentation, I use it for this. The buttons are made for Stream Deck for record and stop, doing presentations and flipping between slides in a presentation, and also changing your scenes and presets. I use it for jumping. I press 1 button and it jumps from my YouTube configuration to my TikTok configuration. I mean, it's strong. Stream Deck is awesome. It works really well. It doesn't take any time to load. If you disconnect it and reconnect it, back up and running. It doesn't have to load any software. The software is running in the background. It boots, with the software running. But I mean, when you look at this, for each one of your, major clients that may come into your office, and you have a configuration like this that you can check on them, even if they're not coming into the office, you just want to check their SERP Robot, you want to check their Local Falcon, you want to check Google Analytics. You press 3 buttons and you're into all of them. That's the power of automating things, and automating them now down to a button. And it's not even a button that's on your computer that's going to interfere. It's kind of offline, and it just tells your computer to do it. So I'm a huge fan of Stream Deck, and the hardware is made really well, and you're gonna like the software. The software is very flexible and can do anything that you can come up with. So check out Stream Deck. Any questions, hit me up in the comments, share the video, tell other people to subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed, because there's going to be giveaways coming up that are only for subscribers. So make sure that you're subscribed. And have a great night. Thanks. Take care. Bye.